perspectives of stress. Now moving on to the spiritual perspectives, right? From a spiritual perspective, it's very simple. The universe is made of universal energy, and we are individual energy, right? So let's go on to the next one. So so energy, like we talked about, there's the universal energy, which we can call the divine, the infinite, the God, whatever name you want to use. Individual energy is us. And the ability to synchronize this universal energy and the individual energy, that is yoga. It's a stress-free state. And so we just use this physical body as an instrument to experience that universal energy. Let's go on to the next one. So here, the individual energy is residing in these different chakras and flows through nadis, okay? So, and for those of us who have a medical background in the audience, actually each of these chakras is associated with the endocrine gland in the body, and with the nervous system as well, the autonomic nervous system and the ganglia. So it has some physical correlates, but really when we're talking about individual energy, it's the astral body and it's channels where the energy flows. Okay, so we can go on to the next one. So basically, stress comes into our system when the flow of energy, the individual and the universal energy, is blocked. And there are several blockages, and that's what causes this block of energy. So it's the inability to digest, process, absorb, assimilate, and eliminate. And each one of these words is very, very important. So first of all, let's think of food, right? When we take it in, first we have to digest it, and then we have to absorb it. And then the body has to assimilate it, and whatever is not digested and absorbed needs to be eliminated from the body. If that entire process is not proper, it leaves behind toxins and leads to a disease. You're not at ease. A disease process. And it's not just food, it's our thoughts, emotions, and feelings as well. So whenever we go through an experience, and that experience, you're not able to digest it properly, and or assimilate it properly, and or let go, which is what happens to a lot of us, when there's conflict that cannot go away, then we're unable to let go. Assimilate and eliminate peace is affected, and that leads to blockage in the flow of energy, and that creates stress and disease. So, next one. So then if that's the case, then how do we overcome that, right? So we have different ways of doing it, paying attention to our food, balancing it, and by this I don't mean looking at your calories, protein, and fat content, but very different. Doing yogasanas, the pranayama, and the meditation. So these are the tools that you can use to help relieve these, open up these blockages, and hence the stress, and then the stress-related issues. Next one. So food, Ayurveda is not just food, but I'm using the Ayurvedic principles when we talk about food. So like we talked about, here we're talking about universal energy, individual energy, and how to synchronize the two. The universe is made of 5 elements. We all know that. Yes? Yeah. So it's the ether, the fire, water, earth, and air. Exactly, air. So ether or space is the, same. So air. Now our body is also the same combination of the same, again, people with medical background, or even just common sense. Majority of our body is solid, so that's the earth element. And then 65 to 75% of our body is water. We came from ocean. So you have earth, water, then you have fire, where digestion is fire. Any transformative process in the body is fire element. Then you have the air, you have it in the lungs. You have all the movement in the body is the air element, right? So we have all the 5 elements. Now the combination of these elements gives you the 3 doshas, and this, I don't have enough time to go into the 3 doshas, which is Vata, Pitta, Kapha. When all these elements are in balance, then you're in a balanced state, you feel good. There's not these stress-related issues. But, even what Jyotiji was talking about, having to deal with the people outside, our lifestyles here, they put all these elements out of balance, which is when stress creeps into our body. So Ayurveda talks about how to bring back balance into the system, into all these elements. And so one of the key features in Ayurvedic diet is pay attention to the quality of the food. whether is it sattvic, is it rajasic, or is it tamasic. Sattvic food is usually brings higher energy. It helps relieve these blockages. Those are the fresh, local, farm-grown grains, anything that tastes sweet naturally, not sugar, but naturally sweet-tasting foods are the sattvic foods. The rajasic foods are the ones which temporarily create energy, but then create dullness after. Coffee and the garlic, onion, a lot of the rajasic foods. Tamasic foods are the ones which you eat and then you go to sleep. It creates a lot of dullness and lethargy. The deep fried foods, the processed foods, the ones from the freezer and the fridge, that type of stuff. Next one. So this is basically telling you what I said, the 5 elements, how the combination of them creates the different vata, pitta, kapha, and then what the combinations mean, movement, cohesion, transformation, right? A lot of the herbs, these are all natural products and work on the body in a natural way. So, and also I just wanted to bring this concept up that there's a lot of interest in being green environmentally, not leaving a footprint. Really, spirituality is about not leaving a footprint on an inner basis. When you're living, when we hold a grudge, when we cannot let go, and there's conflict, you're not leaving it behind, you're leaving a footprint with that. So basically, the spiritual way and living the Ayurvedic lifestyle is a green way of living internally, not necessarily externally. I just wanted to put that up. The next one. All right, so these ones I'll go through quickly. How much time do I have? So I'm sorry. So I'll go through this quickly. I'm sure everybody knows about, the only points I want to make is that how do these asana, pranayama, and meditation, how do they help in helping the flow go through, right? So in yogasana, you have these stretches, but in doing the stretches, it's not getting into the position that's important. While you're getting in the position, there's a mind-body connection that happens. Being in comfort and letting your mind settle down. That's the key component of asana. Next one. So pranayama, basically prana means energy and ayama is the control of that. So it's stretching, extension, expansion, regulating pretty much the breath. So by regulating the breath, you can increase the amount of energy in the body, okay? There's several different pranayams that can increase the energy in the body and again helps relieve the blockages. Next one. So again, meditation. There's nothing magical about meditation. There's nothing really difficult about meditation. It's all about being in the present moment. You don't change anything. You just be and be in total acceptance with your present moment. That's meditation. Now the interesting thing about meditation, there are lots and lots of studies, but they show that this can rewire your brain. We talked about how conditioning and all of that creates circuits. Now you can rewire your brain completely so this is where the neuroplasticity comes in, and it helps reduce the fears and inhibitions and so on and so forth. So next one. Chanting and bhajans, actually. So we're all made of particles, atoms, and the chants and bhajans are also, the vibrations. And this is not just the Sanskrit bhajans that I'm talking about. There are Gregorian chants that are Catholic and European in origin, and they've done studies on all of these. They've all shown that it can set your energy again. It can reset and increase the energy levels. And actually, there are some pictures on the internet. If you're interested, you can go and look at it, where they've taken pictures of water crystals which are exposed to rock music versus the Sanskrit chants, and the crystals that form are so different. The rock music ones are broken, and the Sanskrit are perfect, beautiful crystals. So it's amazing. So next one. So I'm almost at the end of my talk. It's all a matter of perspective. Glass half full, glass half empty. And to me, honestly, when I was younger, my glass was so full. I was always saying, what do people talk about? Where is this halfness? And then I came into the second half of my life, and I was struggling. Where is the half full? I need to look at it. It's always seemed to be empty, right? At this point, I feel so full inside. What does it matter if it's full or half? It really doesn't matter. I just deal with it, right? So that's the whole idea of letting go. Next one. How many of you see a young lady there? How many of you see a young lady? How many of you see an old fag? How many of you see both? Yeah? So it's again, it's depending on where you're at. There's a really beautiful young lady and also an old fag. And you know, it's all about perspective, like we talked about, you know, the big bad wolf story. Depending on where you're at, just knowing that there are so many possibilities. What I know, how I live is not the only way. There's so many different possibilities. You just need to change your angle, you'll see something different. And to me, the reason I put that picture up, there are only two possibilities. One is that of gratitude, the other one is that of grumbling. That's it. That's it. So the moment you move from being grumbling to gratitude, things start falling in place for you. And it doesn't matter, it's not what we have outside, it's with what we have. You know, people who have a lot can still grumble, and those who have very little can still be grateful. The ones who have little and are grateful, the amount they have keeps growing, and vice versa. The ones who have a lot and keep grumbling, they'll still slowly, and honestly, that's the meaning of our prasad. You know, the Satyanarayana Vratam Puja that every one of us have heard. I truly feel that girl who got punished because she didn't take prasad, it's not the physical part. It is, you know, so much is given to you. If you don't accept that prasad, what's given to you, you start losing it. That's what I feel. Next one. So that's it. This is almost at the end of my slide. Like I said, knowing, I hope I've given enough knowledge to all of you all at this point. You all need to go and experience that. Once you experience it, then you commit to doing it on your own, any one of these tools. Next one. So my sister was saying, you know, why don't you put up some resources there? And I started typing up all these websites, and then I stopped and I said, look, yes, there's lots and lots of resources out there, but nothing like someone who's actually experienced it themselves and is out there giving it out to you. And you know, I just put a handful of names up there, but there are many, many, many people. And in my own life, before I came upon my current guru, I considered so many people before them, starting with my parents as my gurus. So there's so many people out there learning from someone who's experienced it. There's no substitute to that. The next one. Okay, so in conclusion, my life journey has been, you know, for the most part, it's a seesaw. You have the unaware, unconscious state where people and situations seem to have control over me. And then I have my aware, conscious state where I feel in control. And then hopefully, you know, that's the second slide is where it is. It's a journey from being this state to that state. So, and the very last one. I just want to say it's not for the people who are in Himalayas or the select few, but it's for everybody. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, each one of us sitting in this room are on the path already.
One question.
Sure.
Like the regular aradhana we do in the morning, do we consider that as a meditation?
Absolutely. Well, meditation specifically means that you're in total communion, but it does bring you to the meditative state of mind. If you, after the aradhana, if you sit down and close your eyes, then you become one with nature. That is a meditative state.
How does that tickle the guy's brain?
It's the sound of it and the gratitude. It's the vibrations. Yeah. Yes, sir.
What is the difference between sleep and meditation?
Oh, a whole lot. There's a lot of research that has been done. So meditation is actually bringing you to the. It's a great question, by the way. Meditation brings you to the same in sleep. There are various stages. There's a deep state of sleep. Meditation is experiencing that deep state of sleep while you're awake. So you're actually not sleeping while you're meditating. So you're in an awake state, and they've done that by looking at the brain waves. Because there are certain brain waves in an awake state, there are certain brain waves when you're in certain stages of sleep. So they've proven that. But yeah, it's a very deep sleep while you're awake. So if you meditate for 20 minutes properly, it's equivalent to 4 hours of deep sleep.